For many of us, the present tense is the way we live. I am talking to you now in the present tense. But not everyone thinks it's appropriate for every occasion, as Virginia Ironside makes abundantly clear in this edition of The Writer's Rant.
My real hate at the moment is the use of what's known as the historic present. Now, for most people, this is the present tense, but it's actually technically the historic present. To explain this, because I know a lot of people will think, oh, help, this is too technical for me. It's when somebody's writing about something in the past, but they put their sentences in the present. So you will have a book which says, Queen Elizabeth is on the throne and Walter Raleigh arrives back from beating the Armada. And this can go on for a whole book in the present, but it's called the historic present because, of course, what is being described is something in the past. And I find this fantastically irritating because nobody talks like this, except, of course, people in Damon Runyon novels where gangsters are always saying, so I slugs him in the eye with my gaff or whatever people say in Damon Runyon novels. It was a fad that was introduced in the 60s when a lot of people took writing courses, really started then, and it was a device introduced by tutors then to help people make things more vivid. And they said, if you put it in the present tense, it sounds more vivid. And the result is that everybody's now writing books in the present tense to make scenes more vivid. And actually, it just holds everything up. In the shortlist for the Booker Prize in England, 3 books out of the, I think, 5 shortlisted books are in the historic present. And one of our best-selling authors here, Philip Pullman, has said that it's a petty affectation. There's quite a lot going on here about the use of the historic present. Hilary Mantel, the last Booker Prize winner with Wolf Hall, her book was entirely in the historic present. And that was all about Thomas Cromwell, who was years and years and centuries ago. It's very limiting. The other thing is that people don't talk like that. Like a man goes into a bar and asks the barman, how much a pint of beer is. You might use the historic present then, or occasionally in a celebrity interview, you'll find journalists might say, John Travolta opens the door to me, he's wearing his flannel dressing gown. But on the whole, we don't speak to each other in the present tense, and that's why it jars so much. Now, Dickens, of course, did use the present now and again, and what's great about writing in the past is that you can write in the past and then you can leap to the present if you want suddenly to describe a dream or something that will really leap into focus, you use the present. But if you're in the present, you can't leap into the past. So if you use the past tense, you have much greater scope with all the tenses to use. If ever I open a book and find that it's in the historic present, my reaction is immediately to fling it across the room and look for something that's in the past, which is so much more creative and inventive.
That was Virginia Ironside, whose book, You're Old, I'm Old, Get Used to It, is available in October from Viking. Thanks for listening to this edition of The Literary Life. We hope you'll be inspired to get more information about the books and authors featured on this program, and you can listen to this episode and more at www.penguin.com/literarylife.